Ahead on Q2, danger on the roadways.
It wasn't the best driving, I'll say that.
It's Billings' first blast of winter, leaving streets iced over and unforgiving, triggering dozens of crashes as drivers struggle to stay in control. We'll check in on the conditions. Plus, a state-of-the-art museum. After 5 years of construction, the new Montana Heritage Center is finally ready to welcome the public. We'll take you there. And
teachers, a bookstore, and $1 million grant. I'll show you the big shopping trip that's helping build home libraries for every Dutton Brady student coming up.
The MTN 430 News starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Billings' first major snowstorm of the season is still causing some chaos 3 days after it hit. Icy streets are leaving numerous weekend crashes and conditions only worse. Lockwood firefighters responded to 9 crashes, well above a typical Sunday for them. And the Montana Highway Patrol stayed slammed throughout the day. For a closer look at all the wrecks, here's our Charlie Kleps.
Road conditions became the big story over the weekend as winter weather settled in and many Montanans traveled across the state for the holidays. It's that time of year for Montana drivers.
If you're planning a trip, we just always expect the roads to be crappy.
Where winter weather causes less than ideal driving conditions.
Well, they started getting snowpacked and, it wasn't the best driving, I'll say that.
Wolf Point resident Jeff McMorris is one of many traveling the roads after making the trip to Billings last Tuesday for the holidays.
It's long distances. I mean, we do that for sports. I mean, look how far we drive for those. It's just par for the course living in Montana.
While the long drive on icy roads is the norm, that doesn't mean it was handled well.
It seems like that first snow of every single year, people are kind of relearning how to drive in the snow.
Katie Hayter with Lockwood Fire and Rescue says it was a busy couple of days for her department, especially being so close to the interstate.
I think there were 9 calls yesterday, most of those being for accidents.
And that reality is being felt across the state. According to the Montana Highway Patrol, there were 1,547 calls for service since Wednesday. That includes 169 single vehicle crashes. Billings police also saw a spike in crashes due to the weather.
As soon as the weather starts to turn, we get all of our rigs stocked up with extra blankets and ice cleats and everything that we might need for those.
That's why Hayter says her team gets extra prepared during the winter months. This year, they'll be using these new accident lights, which synchronize to warn drivers to move over.
That slow down, move over motto is a saying for a reason.
All in an effort to keep the roads safe, though nothing beats reducing your speed.
I mean, I just slow down a little bit and I'll be good.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
We definitely want to take it easy on the roads. We have more inclement weather moving our direction. Areas around Great Falls did have several hours of gusty wind for about 4 hours or so, between 25 and 30 mile-an-hour wind gusts. We also have more chances for some snow moving our direction, even as early as 5 o'clock in the morning. From the High Line all the way down to Yellowstone County, the potential for some more snow is going to be there with additional chances coming. So I'm monitoring a lot of changes to our very progressive weather forecast. Your complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Today marks the first day Montana homeowners can apply for the Homestead tax exemption, a change to reshape property tax bills for next year. The exemption applies to primary residences and long-term rentals starting next year. Tax rates drop for the properties that qualify and rise for those that do not. If you received a property tax rebate this year, you're likely already eligible. The Department of Revenue says about 10,000 more Montanans still need to apply, and although anyone with a long-term rental will also need to submit an application. A new state commission, which was created to rate judges' performance, is now at work. It comes after judicial reform was a major topic during this year's Montana legislative session. MTN's Jonathan Enbarian takes a closer look at the commission and the work they hope to accomplish.
A major argument for Republicans who advocated overhauling Montana's judicial system was that voters don't have enough information when electing judges. They said the Judicial Performance Evaluation Commission could change that.
I get a lot of people at election time that call me and ask about the judges. What do you know about them? And it's tough to get information about judges and justices, and a lot of the public would like to be informed.
The commission held its first meeting at the state capitol last week. Former Senator Keith Regier, a Republican from Kalispell, was selected as the commission's chair.
A lot of employees have evaluations with whether it's in education, teachers are evaluated and how they can improve. Same thing with the judicial here.
These evaluations will include surveys from attorneys who've appeared before a judge and observations of their courtrooms, plus any other information the commission thinks is important.
A backlog is a judge letting stuff pile up for years and not getting to a resolution. That'd be a big one, as well as their conduct and treatment of both sides of the party.
The reports will only be seen by judges and court staff, except if a judge runs for re-election, when it will be made public. The bill establishing the commission initially called for evaluations to be posted in the state voter information pamphlet, but lawmakers accepted requested changes from Governor Greg Gianforte to remove that provision. Regier says they will post public reports online.
A website that we can send people to and try to make that as friendly as possible for them to go through and find the judges that they're going to be voting on and finding information about them.
Whatever form the evaluations take, Regier says you won't see them in time for next year's elections. The law requires that those evaluations be completed well in advance of the candidate filing deadline, which is coming up next year in March. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
The Montana Heritage Center is now the former Montana History Museum, and it's ready to open Wednesday. The $107 million project came to life over the span of 5 years with the help of more than $60 million in private donations. Visitors will step into expanded galleries, a research library, classrooms, a public event center, all of it designed to celebrate Montana's landscapes, cultures, and stories. And the new Heritage Center offers state-of-the-art exhibits that bring our past to life, and soon the excited voices of visitors discovering what it means to be a Montanan will fill those halls once again. Well, the White House says President Trump is meeting today with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and top national security advisors as he weighs his next move on Venezuela, a country he accuses of funneling criminals and drugs into the U.S. Taureen Small reports from the White House.
The Republican-led House and Senate Armed Services Committees have announced they are looking into a U.S. strike on an alleged drug boat near Venezuela back in September. The Washington Post reported Secretary Hegseth gave a verbal order to kill everybody on board. When 2 survived, the Special Operations Commander overseeing the attack ordered a second strike to comply with Hegseth's instructions, and the 2 other men were blown apart in the water.
If it was as if the article said, that is a violation of the law of war.
Hegseth has denied he gave any such order, and President Trump says he believes him.
Pete said he did not order the death of those 2 men.
The White House press secretary said Monday that Hegseth authorized an Admiral, Frank Mitch Bradley, to conduct the strikes.
Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law, directing the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat to the United States of America was eliminated.
The war in Ukraine is another top foreign policy priority for the Trump administration, with the key meeting planned for tomorrow in Moscow. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner are set to talk face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin about ending his country's war with Ukraine.
I will let the negotiators negotiate, but we do feel quite good, and we're hopeful that this war can finally come to an end.
Many in Ukraine are concerned the plan would allow Russia to keep much of the territory it invaded. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with France's President Emmanuel Macron Monday, who said that only Ukraine can decide on its territories in peace negotiations with Russia. Taureen Small, CBS News, the White House.
The FDA's vaccine chief says the agency plans to tighten approval standards for COVID vaccines, citing concerns about potential risks for children. In a leaked memo confirmed by CBS News, Dr. Vinay Prasad says a review of records linked 10 children's death to the COVID vaccine. It did not provide data to support that claim. Another doctor weighed in on vaccine risks to children, cautioning against the claims.
There is no definitive evidence that COVID vaccines cause death in children. No definitive evidence that COVID vaccines are dangerous for children.
Okay.
What we do know is COVID infection is dangerous. As again, over 2,000 children have died from COVID since the start of the pandemic, and that is what you want to guard against.
Myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart muscle, has been reported after COVID-19 vaccination, but studies show the risk is much higher after a COVID infection. The American Academy of Pediatrics strongly recommends COVID shots for children ages 6 months to 2 years. A small rural school in Montana is proving that big dreams can come true with the right support. The Dutton Brady School recently received a $1 million grant to boost literacy among its students. But how it's using its money is what really makes this story special. MTN's Shiksha Matani explains.
When you walk into a bookstore, the hardest part is knowing where to even start. But for Dutton Brady educators, the mission is clear. Fill these carts with new books students can take home and keep. A small rural Montana school is making a big investment in literacy. The Dutton Brady School received a $1 million grant from the Office of Public Instruction's Montana Reads program. The money will be distributed over 5 years, with $400,000 coming this year alone.
We applied for this grant. I didn't know that we weren't going to get it, but I didn't know that we weren't not going to get it. And so it was kind of like, well, let's just see what happens. And then at the end of May last year, we were notified that we did indeed get the full $1 million.
The school is using part of the funding for a unique program called Literacy Backpacks. Hofer, along with a few other educators, went to Barnes & Noble to buy 2 books for each of their school's 120 students ages 0 to 18. The books are tailored to each student's individual interests and reading level.
We are tailoring each book is specific to each student. My coworkers all have a list of students in the grade levels that they're going for, and then when they find a specific book that they want for their student, they're going to write their name on a sticky note.
The books will be given to the students in backpacks embroidered with the name of their school along with a journal. The personalized approach is possible because of the school's small size. Superintendent Jeremy Locke says the grant allows them to put books directly into students' homes.
That's one of the things when we pushed to write this grant, we knew that we wanted to take a portion of that grant money and put it directly into our community homes and our families so that they have support, not only to be able to read with their children every day and every night, but also have the materials for that as well.
The school plans to surprise students with their personalized backpacks before Christmas break. Hofer is hoping this initiative will help students feel less overwhelmed when choosing to start a book.
It's a little overwhelming. They might not know where to start, but if they read that book of an interest, come to the library for the next book or for more, it'll just get them reading and comfortable with literacy, comfortable with books, comfortable with all of it.
Locke hopes the initiative will encourage lifelong reading habits.
We want to make sure that we are targeting what kids' interests are so that they really get involved and become a lifelong reader. Because that's really what our ultimate goal is. We want lifelong learners and lifelong readers. And the best way we can do that is to pique their interest.
The remaining grant money will fund professional development, curriculum updates, and library improvements over the next 4 years. From the shelves here to the shelves in students' homes, Dutton Brady educators say this is just the beginning of their push to build strong readers. In Great Falls, I'm Shiksha Maitani with MTN News.